Hello and welcome to Brodual. Today we're back after a fairly long break to bring you more of the top 100 most popular Skyrim mods. As we get closer to the halfway point, we'll start to see some of the more iconic and memorable Skyrim mods, as you'll see in today's video. Starting us off at number 60 is Ultimate HD Fire Effects. This incredibly popular mod overhauls the textures of fire in the game. Everything from the torch in your character's hand to the huge bonfire at a giant's camp, and even down to the tiny candles that sit upon the Jarl's bedside table. Thanks to the addition of an up to 8K texture quality, fire in Skyrim will look better than ever. The blurry orange blob you fire from your hands will now appear as a crisp, sharp flame, with fitting high resolution smoke to boot. The mod started off as a simple retexture for the flame effects of a torch, but eventually grew to become the ultimate fire overhaul for Skyrim, reaching a well-earned 2.2 million downloads in the process, putting it firmly into Skyrim's top 100. Jumping to number 59 we have Safety Load. This bug fix has become absolutely essential for a lot of players. The mod fixes the infinite loading screen bug that has plagued a lot of modders, especially those with larger load orders. The error, which usually results in a never-ending loading screen or just a complete game freeze, is usually caused by a bug in memory allocation. How it works isn't really important, but if you've been having an issue that sounds like what I just described, then this is definitely the go-to mod. On top of potentially fixing issues with memory allocation, the mod can also tell you if it's your corrupt save file that's causing the issue. Since SKSE came out with its own memory fix, Safety Load has become less vital, but it should still be considered if the bug persists even with SKSE installed. At 58 we have one of my personal all-time favourite quest mods, Helgen Reborn. Several mods have tackled the Helgen Void, a city whose entire purpose was for the game's 20-minute introduction sequence. After that it's essentially ignored for the rest of the game. That is until Helgen was reborn. The mod has a fully voice-acted questline that'll see you rebuild Helgen, taking it above and beyond its former glory. Along the way you'll reunite old friends, as well as resparking just as old feuds. In the process of rebuilding you'll be tasked with recruiting your own town guard, which can then be assisted by either the Imperials or the Stormcloaks, all left officially neutral in terms of the Civil War. The supplies needed for rebuilding will be costly, and not exactly legal. You'll have to do favours and other tasks along the way, including becoming a wealthy man's champion in an illegal underground fighting pit. After all is said and done, Helgen will be back and better than ever. For all your hard work you'll be rewarded with your own player home in the city, a glorious tower that looks down on what you've helped build. Helgen Reborn was one of the first major quest mods for Skyrim, and despite its 2013 release, is still one of the best made quest mods to this very day. Coming in at 57 we have the Guard Dialogue Overhaul. The guards of Skyrim quickly become the most repetitive and annoying characters in the game. This is mostly due to their fairly monotonous appearance, dialogue and behaviour. To partially fix that, the Guard Dialogue Overhaul makes them respond more appropriately to your character and their actions. It achieves this in several ways, from adding more hidden dialogue for guards to use, to fixing the what is it dialogue loop that happens after the guards say 2 or 3 lines. The mod also widens the gap between the guards treating you like a nobody to respecting you as the true saviour of Skyrim. So they'll still mock you early on after losing your sweet roll, but as you progress through the main quests, they'll eventually become nervous in your very presence. If they try to demand the mighty Dragonborn stop shouting or dropping his weapons, you can swiftly put them back in their lowly place. All in all, this has become a must-have for us. And it also plays a vital role in our Guard Overhaul mod collection, so be sure to check that out too if you're interested. And finally, today's last mod at 56 is Falskaar. This is another one of Skyrim's iconic quest mods, and arguably one of the most famous Skyrim mods of all time. Falskaar is one of the largest Skyrim mods of all time, offering over 20 hours of content in the form of a whole new land to explore, filled with fully voice acted NPCs, new stories, dungeons and more. The story kicks off after you discover a portal in an old Dwemer ruin, which once activated will teleport you to Falskaar. In over 600 years, nobody has walked through what the Falskaar inhabitants call the Shimmering Wall. When the Dragonborn steps through, you'll be given the title The Traveller. This is based on an old prophecy that states they who arrive through the Shimmering Wall mark the start of the worst. Whether that prophecy comes true will be discovered as you explore the new land, and along the way you'll discover new books, weapons, dragon shouts and more. One of the fair criticisms of Falskaar is that it's very vanilla. By that I mean despite it being a whole new land in Tamriel, it feels very much connected to Skyrim. It doesn't utilise a huge amount of custom assets or resources to make it feel like you're truly in a foreign land. But nevertheless, since it was created by a single man and given its size, it definitely deserves its praise and millions of downloads. The creator of Falskaar made the mod as a sort of job application for Bethesda. Unfortunately this didn't work out exactly as planned, but just over a year after the mod's release he was instead hired by Bungie, and after some quick research it seems he had a hand in the creation of Destiny too. So I'm sure he's not too disappointed in how Falskaar turned out. To try the mod today or any of the other 4 mods, you can find links for all of them down below. And just before we wrap things up, we'd like to thank Rave for sponsoring this episode. Rave is an app for both Android and iOS that lets you seamlessly watch videos with friends at the same time, regardless of where you are in the world. It achieves this by perfectly syncing all of your friends' devices, letting you text and chat at the same time. Whether you're watching a Let's Play together on YouTube or just reacting to funny clips on Reddit, it all syncs up perfectly. To get the link today, you can find a link for your app store down below. And that's the end of today's video. As always, be sure to leave endorsements on any mods you enjoy, be sure to check out g2a.com, and thanks for watching.